Just sit right back and you hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing lad, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. It makes me wonder. Ooh, really makes me wonder. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Marianne here on Gilligan's Isle.
The views expressed on this episode of the Came to Believe Recovery podcast do not necessarily reflect those of KHLT, Take 12 Recovery Radio, or our affiliates. The opinions on this episode should not be taken as medical, psychological, or professional advice and are those of the host, co-host, and guests. KHLT and Take 12 Recovery Radio are not affiliated with any particular 12-step fellowship. Well, greetings, my friends. I am the Monty'man from Take 12 Recovery Radio, and this is the Came to Believe Recovery Podcast. And now, here are your Came to Believe Recovery podcasting broadcasters to launch us forth on this week's show.
Hello, everyone. To the Came to Believe Recovery podcast. I am Alicia, and I am here with Tom and the Monty'man. Hi, guys.
Hi. We are getting a weird echo from you. I don't know why that is, because everything over here is set right. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I heard it too. Let's see if it keeps going, because it cleared up before.
It might clear up. What do you think of that little parody there, buddy?
Well, it's sacrilege, number one. It's double sacrilege to take the theme of Gilligan's Isle, which is kind of its own iconic theme.
Yeah.
And then take Stairway to Heaven, which may be one of the most sold, recognizable songs in all of history, at least in the top 10 in rock and roll for sure, but in all of music history. And to do that to it, that it's almost like taking the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
So I do not endorse.
Counts.
I do
not endorse.
I knew you would hate it. And so it was just for you. That is Puddles the Clown, by the way, that I don't know if you've ever seen Puddles.
No, because he did that, and no one ever heard from him again. Right?
He actually does that with a number of songs.
Beautiful. Yeah, he should have picked a different one. Thanks, man. He poked right at me today.
I know, right off the gate.
How do we poke back at him, Alicia? He sets all this up for us.
I know. How can we? I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We'll do it offline.
Oh boy.
We'll get him.
If you guys are not watching, though, you should tune in to YouTube and look at Monty's nice leather jacket. He's pretty styling today.
I know. And you know what? Because you guys have made me such a superhero. Yes, my Phoenix bird.
His armor. It's his armor of protection.
I can't get my
breastplate of righteousness.
I can't get my zipper to work.
Uh-oh.
That just sounded bad. Oh. There we go.
Never mind. Don't look at the YouTube. Okay. Now.
Yeah. Really, folks. If you're not subscribed, There's a lot of subscribers on our different podcasting platforms: Apple, iHeartRadio, Podomatic. What's the other ones? Apple,
Spotify.
Apple, Google, and not a lot on our YouTube, which is fine. I get that. But you're really missing out if you don't get to see, Alicia's smiling face, my smiling face, and Grumpy Tom.
And what you'll see is why I'm grumpy.
Yeah.
We're so happy we're spilling over.
It's never Alicia that causes it. That, I can tell you that.
Oh, boy.
We travel and there's hurry of bad
No
word
drama
between us.
whatsoever, ever.
None. Right. We just were
And
together
Monty
for
comes into the mix.
24 hours in San Diego or in California, and it was wonderful.
Palm Beach. No drama
None.
whatsoever.
Well, I shouldn't say none, but none between us anyway.
Yeah. There's something.
Yeah, but we're all good. Nothing ever goes perfectly.
Yeah. Okay.
But, Well, but
Okay.
to do an update on that, we did finish the San Diego retreat
Yes.
this weekend, and the three of us. Well,
I wasn't there.
No, Alicia wasn't there, but she's still not gotten to be in San Diego, and it's quite a place.
Really?
And San Diego itself, was 80 degrees really every day.
Oh,
75,
so
78.
nice. So nice.
And it's just lovely. I mean, you know why people live there. The Airbnb we were in was literally walking distance to the border. I was sending people pictures of Tijuana right across. I mean, the border was really 100 yards.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's not a.
I felt like I
contested
was
area
in
or
East. I felt like I was in East Berlin in the 1950s.
Right.
Because you see the wall, and it's not that red wall like you see it like in Texas. It's that gray with the razor wire and all the lights above it. It's like it's
But
kind
it's
of
not a contested area, really. There's a lot of crossing day in all day from the Mexican side to the American side. But they say it's like going to a third world country when you cross over into Tijuana.
yeah.
We did not go because
No.
of the stuff we were doing. We didn't. I mean, I had my passport. I mean, it's not that hard to cross there and cross back. If you don't stay overnight, I think you can go relatively easily. But the retreat was about 90 men and a few women. There was almost 100, and we went and we had gone to everyone in the audience. We had gone. Went to San Diego as the third retreat we did. We were still kind of in the piloting stage of Came to Believe, and there was still, everybody was in the thought of, is this going to work? Do we want to do it? They were thinking, do they want to do it? We were thinking, how are we going to make this work the best? We'd been writing Recovery Assurance, I think, Alicia, some by then.
And this was a little over a year ago.
Yeah, it was over a year ago. Yeah, well over. Yeah. And we had just done the video series, so they didn't get it. So anyway, they weren't given the full program and the full training and everything handed to them with our portal and everything that's been developed since then in a hands-on sense. So for us to go kind of jumpstart, they had been working Recovery Assurance, so they'd been doing what we had given them to do. And they were following our language, everything, all good. But we just took them to the next level, and now they're really engaging. And we had a good time. It was, Sunday morning breakfast would have sent Alicia over the edge. Did we send you pictures?
I heard about that.
A scone and a Danish. Yeah.
We sent her pictures of Mowdy and I sent her a picture of the marshmallow s'mores that we were roasting. We had them up to our mouth like this.
Yes. If I'm not at a retreat, audience, they be sure to send me the food that certain people eat, and then I have to have a heart attack at my house thinking of what they're eating.
Yeah, I mean, we just to clarify too, Monty tried to throw me under the bus by telling this big story about how I outed him to you when he ate ice cream in Oakland. That I called you on the phone and said, "Oh, Monty ate ice cream." No, you told me Monty said he didn't eat ice cream, and I said, "Oh, that's
Yes,
not
he
true."
did.
But I didn't say
No.
that. I said
No.
that's not me in line or something like that. I didn't deny anything.
You denied it.
He
Remember,
was evading the
look, he's
truth,
evading. Yeah, well, we are rigorously honest there,
which
brother.
is dishonesty.
Look at him. You were hiding it from her. So there you
This
go.
is in the past. Leave me alone.
Oh, I love it.
That's true. And there's no condemnation.
Listen, and that's what you need to hear, Alicia. There's no condemnation.
I just want you to be healthy and functional.
And remember, Monty, Alicia's not the boss of us. Anyway.
I
You
know.
can be healthy.
I know. Ben and Jerry's is.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Have you guys watched the series Pluribus?
Yes.
Never
Yes,
done.
I
Don't
have.
tell me more. We have the last episode tonight of the first season. So it's fairly interesting.
Very interesting. Boy, you sure can read a lot into that thing if you want to. I think they've done that
Yeah.
on purpose.
Is it
Yeah.
science fiction?
A little bit.
A little bit. It's kind of. There's got some woke stuff in there, or at least you could make it that way, but maybe not. I mean, it's just.
I'm gonna write it down.
It's very interesting.
It's well done.
It is well done.
In the details to what the position it takes and the story line requires it to have a lot of details to make it flow. Like so that Tom, who catches all the fake things and things,
Yes.
can't catch anything. I mean, it's all not true, but the not trueness is all aligned perfectly.
Yes.
You know, it
Yes.
runs through the whole thing. So
It's a trip. It's a trip.
anyway, that's it. And Landman is a must. If you guys
Oh, I
haven't
watched
Landman,
that.
it's good, right?
So
Yeah, it was really good.
I have not yet. I've yet to watch Landman. I've tried to stream it on. What's it
Monty
on?
has to get the language.
Yeah, you gotta. The language
There's
is
some
tough.
language and some
Yeah. See, I don't
sexual
like that
scenes
too
in there.
much.
It's not much sex.
Not
it's
a
more
lot. We
language.
just fast forward through.
But
Yeah.
so I just watched, and I talked about this on Monday's show. I just watched a show that had an incredible amount of F words in it. But the reason it did is it was dealing with a guy that was. It's a story about a young man who has Tourette's syndrome, really severely. And Tourette's doesn't always show up as profanity being spoken, but a lot of times it does. And he has a severe case of it. And he's roommates with a guy who's OCD and a clean freak, and they meet up with this gal who is anorexic bulimic, and it's about their journey, the three of them, and it's heartbreaking, it's hilarious,
What's that called?
It's called it is called The Road Within. The Road Within.
All my new shit today.
It's on Netflix. It is amazing because it really shows a very accurate picture of these mental illnesses that people deal with in this arena, and how supportive they are of each other and how real it is. The guy that plays Victor, I think his name's Victor. He's the guy that played the drug addict brother in the Umbrella Academy. Just a fascinating film, and it's one of those that if you can't handle the language, you got to understand this is a real depiction of a real problem, and it's important that they did that.
You know, I go with that too, like in war movies, Monty.
Yeah.
If they're going to do a war movie and it's going to be accurate,
Yeah.
the language that they really used is what you need to use. It's like this is how it was.
Yeah.
In the
It's
war.
like true history, right?
Yeah, it's true history.
Sure, I
So
get that.
Now in Landman, it's the true. It's the way these people talk, and it's a story about the oil industry. And I think there's a lot of truth to the way the oil industry probably operates. It probably has quite a bit of truth to it underlying. I mean, it's a fictitious story, but about oil and the way big drugs are involved and the money and the power that the oil companies have and this and that. We all know it's true.
Sure.
And people would say, well, that's just not stuff we should put our minds on. And language like that is not beneficial to the, and I go, whatever. It doesn't bother me that much. It just doesn't. I don't know that it makes me a worse person.
It's got to be it's got to be an exceptional film for me to tolerate it. It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't go to, there's some meetings I won't go to because the language is so bad. I'm like, it's just, I feel yicky after I leave there, because it's just so.
Well, I think this is a perfect example, though, of meeting people where they are. And then Monty and I don't have to judge other people. We can accept them if they want to cuss.
Sure.
And if it's somebody close in our life, then maybe we can talk to them privately about it. But
yes,
people are people.
I'll talk to you about it.
I'll talk to you privately.
I know a guy. I have never heard him cuss, but I've been told that he's got quite the potty mouth. I know a guy like that. Do you know a guy like that, Alicia?
I know a guy and a girl like that too.
Hey, listen. We got this.
Hey,
go ahead.
People are thinking it. Real is real. We all have something we're working on.
Oh, totally.
And
totally. Except Monty Superman over there.
Okay, so I got this. It's really quick.
But first, it's time for the Came to Believe Recovery Icebreaker.
All right. We kind of already had our icebreakers there, but I showed this. I showed this on Monday's show, and I'll do it again. So there's a lot of different apps, Bible apps and devotional apps and stuff like that that you can get for your phone, right? I got one for you. I got a little Jesus on my phone. Look at that.
Oh, I have those in my bag.
Jesus on my phone. Oh, he fell down. So because I hate flying and it scares the poo-poo out of me.
Oh, so you bring him with you?
Well, in my life group, our little house church gathering, I was sharing, I'm going to San Diego. I got to get on a plane. And they scare me. It's just, and she goes, here, this might help. And she goes, take him with you. And so she gave it to me. And when we were taking off, I was choking him out. I was like squeezing it so hard.
It's all right. He can take it.
But
right?
you can get these little Jesuses on Amazon. You can order them
and leave them everywhere.
Yeah, and so so Roger McDermott, he's buying some, and so you can it just says Jesus loves you on it. And like if somebody's having a bad day, or like you were talking about spreading sunshine, Tom, you're in the grocery store and somebody seems like they're having a bad day, you say, hey, this might help, and just hand it to them.
My friend Sharon, who's the sister of my best friend growing up, and really a best friend, a lifelong friend, Sharon, who knew her since before she was born. So I didn't know her.
Yeah.
But I was there before you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
She carries a whole pocket full of those things around. When you meet Sharon, you say one thing, she hands Jesus to everybody.
I think it's so cool.
It's
I like it.
I think it's so
it's
cool.
a good thing. She hands Jesus to everybody. It stops any kind of issues.
Yes.
She hands you Jesus, it changes your world.
This is the original landman right here, baby.
Oh, yeah,
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, the oil of God, the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit. I think the Holy Spirit talks like this.
Okay, what's our topic?
Wait a minute. We got to close this out and come back with the topic. All right.
This is Tom Williams
and Alicia Martinez, and we'd like to invite you to join us right here at Take12Radio.com for the Came to Believe Recovery podcast.
Topics will include a deep look into the how and why the 12-step movement was so successful in the past and how it can experience that success again today.
You can catch up on all our episodes at Take12Radio.com by clicking on the Came to Believe Recovery podcast banner.
And I came to believe in a power much higher than I.
This is Dan Clark from Milwaukee, Oregon. You're listening to the Came to Believe Recovery podcast, a production of Take 12 Recovery Radio and KHLT Recovery Broadcasting.
Battling the fright, steps 10, 11, 12 showed me a way. Found my redemption in the light of day. We
All right. Welcome back to the Game to Believe Recovery podcast with our CEO, Tom Williams, and our senior volunteer, Alicia Martinez. And superhero.
Super Monty.
What's the topic, Alicia?
Podcast topic is surviving versus thriving.
And what exactly do you mean by that?
Right? No, I was thinking about this the last days and thinking, like I have here, surviving examples would be knuckling it, letting fear control, overachieving, our defects of character, letting them kind of stay around. And then thriving would be being with God, seeking his lead, and actually doing 10, 11, and 12. And then my thoughts even went to, we could even be in the pit, but seeking God, feeling his presence, and that could be thriving, right? So we could be having a bad time, but still thriving. So that's surviving versus thriving, and then what we think that would be, what that looks like.
So there's it was during a time when I was like the 30-day wonder, right? I would get sober for 30 days and then I would go back out and then I'd try again and get back up. But, you know, I wasn't applying and implementing the principles in these steps, obviously, certainly not living in the go. But I didn't know that. You know, I couldn't figure out why this individual, me, who loves God, keeps doing the same stuff. It was driving me crazy. And a friend of mine sent me that scripture verse out of Matthew. It's in the Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And there was a little commentary on it. I've never forgotten it. That the kingdom of heaven is made for, I mean, there's going to be a lot of folks there, but it's specifically made for the poor in spirit. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs, and in the Greek, it means for it is created for the poor in spirit. For those of us who are in the pit, like you're talking about, who can barely scrape ourselves up far enough to grab a hold of the ladder to climb out, and we're just struggling like crazy. There's that word Tom doesn't like, and I'm trying not to say it as much.
But I think it happens.
But we struggle and we fight and we kick and we scream. We're just so poor and broken in spirit. We're not healthy yet. But blessed are we, because the kingdom of heaven was made for us. And I thought, wow, and that was good. That gave me hope. That gave me good news, even though I was a mess. That God loved me. He's not going to love me any more than he already does. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think too, it's not only in our addiction in the past. I mean, I trip into that pit daily. You know, and then I have to be humbled and I have to surrender and I have to pray or whatever I do. So it's not like we get out and we aren't still in that. I'm speaking for myself.
Right.
I've been in. And then I want to thrive. I don't want to just survive and be stuck in my resentments or whatever.
Right.
Tom, what are you thinking about in there?
I see his wheels turning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I people do struggle, Monty. I just what I always try to say is that the program doesn't promise a struggle. That's not success in the program. Struggling
Right.
all the
I
time.
agree with you.
You
Yes.
might struggle. You might struggle. But if you're struggling, that's a 10, 11, and 12. Look at why.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is this crux between surviving and thriving. Do we have challenges? Do we have issues? Yes. Do we have to have them? And should we look towards not having them? Is there a possibility that we could, you know, as the Salvation Army says, live in spiritual Christian perfection and holiness and really not have any problems? I guess theoretically it's possible, right? To have no issues or problems whatsoever. It's not practical.
I don't know that it's even biblical though, Tom, because you look
No.
at the Apostle Paul that says, "In my weakness, then I am strong." I'm asking for God to remove this thing that is just seems to be hindering me, and God keeps telling me, "My grace is sufficient." I'm not going to remove it.
But that is the perfection for him then. Right.
Yeah.
His mindset isn't perfection.
Well, I think
accepting it.
I think we as human beings, we have a definition of what struggle is, or pain, or uncomfortable, which is going to, I think next week we're going to talk about being uncomfortable. But what that really means, we have a thwarted viewpoint of what that is. When we perceive something as being difficult, God's saying, yeah, you don't know what the prize is at the end of this, though. Just wait.
Right. He's
Just
working
wait.
on your character. He can,
And a lot of times our difficulty and our struggle is that we're upset that things aren't going our way.
That's
right?
most of the time, don't you?
So, when I did that, I've read the Sermon on the Mount, Emmett Fox, and he does a great explanation of it. It's not the only one. It's just one that talks about what each of the Beatitudes mean. And, blessed are the meek, which is like, what does that mean? The meek people, that you're supposed to be meek. Well, in some ways, yes, meek in spirit. It means you to not be prideful and not be ego and all of that. But the poor in spirit, I think, at least this in his kind of take was, the poor in spirit are the ones that would be open to the Spirit coming, right? Jesus went to the hurting.
Yeah.
The rich and the people who had it all together didn't want to hear it. They didn't need any help.
Exactly.
So the kingdom of heaven, while everyone's welcome, it was made for those that are hurting. They're the ones that are going to go for it. They're the ones that are going to embrace it. So, but you don't stay hurting. You don't have to. You can move into thriving, right, Alicia? I mean, we can. I think it's important that we not accept our lot in life so
quickly
and say we just have to be in all this struggle. I think you can have financial freedom, you can live in a comfortable place, you can have a decent relationship with your husband or your wife. It does not have to be that hard. I just don't think it does. It's a goal. And that when we tell people, when you get recovered, you thrive. The promises should come true in your life. You should have that, intuitively know how to handle situations that used to babble us, and have much less of that going on. And that much of what you do is successful. And you should point towards having like that step 10 day when you didn't do anything wrong, which happens once in a while with us, I think now, once in a while. But I think we should press on the fact that it's a promise that we get to thrive. Doesn't mean we won't have struggles, but even in the pit, you can thrive, right, Alicia? That's what you were saying.
Even in the pit, you can thrive. And see, this is not, and I don't want listeners to be confused about this. We're not talking about a prosperity gospel.
Right.
We're not at all.
Right.
And people say, oh, they're talking about just name it and claim it and blah, blah, blab it and grab it. No. Because I have for a long time have had an opinion about how much better my oldest boy could live if he would just do A, B, and C. But I'm learning that he's very content in the way he is living. He lives very modestly. The apartment that he lives in is this little tiny itty-bitty thing, and he's fine with that. And he's finally getting out of debt. He's thriving now. And I'm like, well, you could have a bigger place, or you could have a nice groomed yard, and you could. No, he's doing very well. So sometimes we have this opinion that, well, you're not doing as well as you could because it doesn't look like what I would do, right?
And thriving and success are so often related to money.
Right.
Especially in the American economy, they say that he's a very successful businessman. Well, what does that mean? You mean he's a wealthy businessman? But how did he get his money? Let's look deeper into that organization.
And how is his marriage and relationships and his relationship with God? Is there even any?
Right.
And that's successful?
Yeah.
I don't.
What is thriving is thriving, having a lot of money. Your son is an example. I know some other people who just saying, I'm thriving, I'm happy, I have peace and contentment. I don't have stuff, but stuff isn't what I define as thriving for me. Thriving is being happy, joyous, and free of burden and in my relationship with God. I mean, Jesus never, ever denoted thriving or the obedience and walking under the blessing of God as money. Or that the example of it would be that you'd have a lot of money. He didn't ever point on the hill and go, see all those big houses? Those are the people that are following my will. He never did that. So it's a thing we just have to break, that we can be okay. You might get a lot of money. Then you got to be careful, because the money does, what are you going to do? What did God give it to you for? That's a whole nother thing. But I think you're right, Monty. Thriving and is a, it's in the eyes of the beholder, I guess you would say.
Right.
And you think your son should be, and that money success, I guess, or success in business, which is busyness, if you have to be running a business, the stress is that really thriving? Right? Ask somebody, you know, as they have, ulcers and, miss out on life. Are they really thriving?
We talked about that. I think it was last week, Tom, you and I, about in the topic, quit the busy. We were talking about how it's almost a badge of honor. Not even to have the money, but to be busy. As long as you're busy, and we do that in recovery circles too. Oh, well, you know what? If I keep busy, I won't drink. Well, you get so busy that eventually you burn out, and if you're not leaning on a power greater than you, God, and you do burn out because of busy, guess what you'll do? What you know, and whatever that is. Inappropriate sexual relationships, overspending, drinking, drugging, whatever it is, we fall back into it because we've been leaning on the busy, and it's a badge of honor. I mean, I know people in AA and NA and Celebrate Recovery, all three of those fellowships, that it is a badge of honor to be a district rep and a regional rep, and that's all well and good, but their heart isn't in serving others. Their heart is in achieving that position.
Right. And we could be busy with ministry and busy with Celebrate Recovery. Like you said, they're good things. But making the good thing, as Tim Keller, if you make the good thing the ultimate thing, it's an idol. And we all have them. Every single person has them. We just have to recognize and do step 10 on it and pray about it. But we all have something we put in, even if it's part of our day.
And so those folks that do that if and I'll conclude any of us, if we're doing this stuff for the position and not out of the love for the Lord, obedience, and serving one another, then are we really, it looks like thriving, but isn't it just simply surviving because we're always chasing the bag of success, when just like the dope bag?
Sad though, I think, you guys, don't you agree that a lot of these people don't even realize that they're doing it for the wrong reasons. So so that would be hard for us to communicate to them if they don't even see it. Like, no, I love working at the church, and I love running this meeting, and I love, so they could be doing it and not realizing it.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, a lady who had suffered greatly under the hands of religious abuse, and they were talking about in your church, and you could say this about in your AA group or any group, what kind of plan do you have if your leadership goes sideways? And if you can't answer that, you're in trouble. What kind of plan? If your pastor, if your pastor goes sideways, what plan do you have to step in and fill that gap while you're figuring it out? Oh, well, we just trust him. It won't happen. What happens when the leadership? We don't like to use the word leadership in AA, but let's just use it for lack of a better term. What happens if your GSR and your treasurer decides to go back out and drink and takes all the money with? Do you
It
have
happens.
a plan? It
really
happens
happens.
all the time. Do you have a plan? If you do not have a plan, your group's in trouble. I didn't want to go down a rabbit trail with that, but that's a form of surviving. That's not thriving if you don't have these plans in place. So I don't know why I felt like I had to share that,
Yeah.
but
I think too, and I was speaking with a couple of people in the Salvation Army, and I've seen this in the recovery world a little, is people that, climb themselves to the middle because they've experienced such a low or such a level of not success in their lives that they get one or two rungs up
And they
and they
think
just
that's
stay there.
great.
and they stop.
Yeah.
They stop.
And you know how many people I hear that after they get recovered, I want to be a drug and alcohol counselor. They all want to be drug and alcohol. I'm like,
Yeah, I do
you
hear
don't
that.
have to be that.
I'm
if
like,
you don't
pump
want
the
to.
brakes, guys.
Right. And I mean, not that money's everything, but you're gonna. That doesn't pay a lot of money. Drug and alcohol counseling.
But
when-
again, maybe their heart's in it. They don't care about
Well,
the
that's
money.
fine
Well,
if they
that's-
do. If they,
That's right. But I say just if you get a KDAC or whatever those
Yeah.
certifications, which are
Keep
not
going.
degrees,
right.
Keep
keep
going.
going. I say, then why not just get your bachelor's degree? Why not get
Yeah,
your
because
master's in
getting
it?
a
Why
KDAC
not get
is-
your PhD in it and really help some people.
Getting a KDAC isn't easy for some, especially if if you did terrible in school and you don't think you're going to be able to pass the test and so forth, and you actually do it and achieve it. I'm with you. Wow, good for you. You actually did level 1. You did level 2. Now you're doing level 3. Hey, check in at the community college down here
Right.
and get your degree in this thing. College. We could talk about college. I don't agree with it, but there are certain things you can do that will open doors for you. If you don't want to do that and you're content, great. But check yourself. Are you? Because if you're not, if you think you want more, then go for it. Go for it. There are programs, Tom, that don't cost anything if you do the research.
Well, they can
Yeah.
get financial assistance, financial grants, probably.
There's not a ton,
College.
but there's.
They're
Yeah.
there. You just got
They're
to
there.
dig.
But I mean, yeah, I would caution against getting in debt. To
No,
go
we don't
to
want
school.
that.
Yeah.
We're not telling anybody to do that.
But
True.
med school or law school, if you're really going to get it, those are professions that provide a way out of debt pretty quickly, but many don't.
Yeah, many
but
don't.
the point is that I want people to,
You don't want them to
envision-
settle.
yeah, I don't want them to settle. See that you're living in this fourth dimension of existence. I mean, when I got sober at 42, I had no success in school. I hadn't gotten good grades. I was lazy. I was this, I was that, it was the other thing. And I decided, well, maybe I can do this. And I took a shot at something that on the surface, just getting sober, and now I got a job and I can just kind of float along. No, that wasn't okay with me. I was given good, mentorship and people saying, keep going, and short-term goal and long-term goal, la, 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 la. And I always encourage people, just don't stop because you don't think you're worth going more, right? Like examine why is it that you're stopping? And if it's because this is your thing and you love it and this is all you want to do,
Great.
that's fine. But I think in many cases it isn't. I mean, when I say, at retreats, I'll say, when the rent comes due, what do? I just pay it. When I got to get guests, we're not talking about being, having millions of dollars in the bank. I'm talking about what they say, fear of economic insecurity, being economically secure, which means you're covering basic life's needs with a little buffer. There's some peace to that. That's
man.
thriving in many cases. That's thriving.
I tell you,
So,
there's a lot of pieces. It took us a long time, Marsha and I, to get to the place that we're at, but we have that. If something, I would hate this. I'll give you an example. We have a tree in our backyard. It needs to come down. I hate to take it down. It's a beautiful maple. It's wonderful, but it's sick. It's got a problem, right? And if we get a wind, it could actually be uprooted, and if it fell, it would destroy the studio. It would destroy the back part of our home. It would make it financially almost impossible to recover from it. Well, it would be very, very difficult. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to take the thing out, right? Guess what? We got the money to do it. That's not cheap to have somebody come out and take down a tree that is that huge. But 30 years ago, we wouldn't be able to. We'd be going, oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't fall.
Right, praying that it doesn't
Right.
fall.
We don't have that worry now. We're just going to, I'm going to call the arborists, I think that's what they call them, up and say, come out and give us an estimate. We can do it. And you know what? It won't kill us to do it. Mm-hmm. There's peace in that. There's peace in knowing that, if this or that or the other thing happened, it would be uncomfortable and we wouldn't like it, but we can handle it, right? But it's taken some discipline. There you go, Alicia. It's taken willingness to be disciplined. Yeah. Challenging, right? Because what you're doing, Tom, when you're talking about not settling, you're really challenging people to look at steps 10 and 11 and really check themselves. Are you settling?
So it's funny, Alicia, you're going to love this. I was talking to somebody this morning about an exercise who was trying to get their conditioning back and was describing to me how they were going to do interval walking. So they were going to try to do a hard interval walking and then slow down the walk and quick the walk. And I said, well, that's really a starting point. If you just walk as fast as you can, it doesn't really meet what an interval is. An interval is supposed to take you to the anaerobic threshold. It's supposed to push your heart to its limit where you can't go anymore, and then you back to walking and recover. That's where the gains come from. If you're not pressing your heart to the end, are you doing an interval? You're not doing it in the truest sense. I said, what you're doing when you walk like that is rehab. That's rehab. Walking hard, but this was somebody who was, I think, looking to settle, to not thrive, but to say, well, if I just walk, I'm like, yeah, but that's not
the easy way out.
Yeah. Or to get the real gains, you have to do that. So I'm not going to call, you're not going to make a goat a tiger, right? That's rehab. That's not training. Mm-hmm. And they didn't like that much, but they went, all right, I get it.
Isn't that okay to make a start, though?
Improvement from where he or she is, that is something. But don't stay there for another 2 years.
So that's that striving and everything. Would you stay there and just say, I do this walking thing and this is just good?
Right.
It's better than nothing.
Anyway, gain weight, and you're eating garbage, then it's not working.
But is it better than nothing? Is it really doing it? So I always encourage people, well, go to the next level. You don't have to go nuts like we do. That's beyond. I mean, we make it a lifestyle, but there's a level that is, so it's not just that. It's in work. It's in your relationship. It's in things, everything that we do to, see that we can, go to the next level responsibly. It makes you feel good. I think it's growth. It's improving all the time. And especially for us recovered addicts, growth all the time is important. And even in little measures, we should, I think, always be adjusting, improving, and growing.
I think, I'm bringing back a thing on Fridays now called Monty'man's Meditorials, and they're just like little 4-minute things that I do on Friday at take12radio.com. And one of the ones coming up in a couple of weeks is how to stop procrastinating on your devotional life. And one of the things that I say in that is devotional life begins not with ideal circumstances, but with willingness. So we make these, and we can say this about anything that is helpful to us, right? Well, when I'm more financially secure, I'll do A, B, and C. Or when the weather clears up, I'll start walking. Well, you can start walking in place in your living room. You don't have to wait till the weather clears up. You know, when am I going to start meditating? Well, when I'm more spiritually centered. No, you start meditating and you'll get more spiritually centered. You know, so there's always a starting point, but it doesn't begin with your ideal circumstances. You just do it. We were talking, I think we said something about that in San Diego about Nike. What are the greatest statements ever? Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I mean, stop whining, stop complaining, stop making excuses. I mean, if you don't want to do it, then don't. But stop talking about it and do it.
Well, it's laziness and procrastination, and those were taken away in step 7. So do step 10 and have clarity and honesty and people around you that can call you out on your stuff.
Yeah.
Get into action.
And here's something else I said. Five honest minutes today will do more for you than an imaginary hour next week.
Right?
Start somewhere, but start. Don't settle. Well, because I'm doing this physical therapy because of my shoulder. It started out with my right shoulder. It's got all arthritis in it and stuff. And my doctor said, and I knew she was going to say this, and I was dreading hearing her say it. She goes, "Would you be open to physical therapy?" And I thought, that's your answer for everything. You just blow me off to the physical therapist. But I said, sure. Why not? Right? So I went. Guess what? It's working. I got my little rubber band thing, and she told me, okay, now once you do this, now go to this level, go to this level. So I went back and I thought, okay, she's just going to check in with me and see if I'm doing my exercises. I was wrong. She took me to another level. She got me on an exercise bike for the arms, and I'm doing this. And she goes, "Can you go 5 minutes?" And I go, "I don't know. I'll just start." So I went, and I went almost 7 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? I could probably go 8 minutes. Once the momentum starts in whatever it is we're doing,
That's exactly the word.
Take
Once you
advantage.
take one step, the momentum comes, and then maybe I can do another minute.
And so then you move from surviving to thriving, because you keep going. You're not pushing the envelope and going to die. You just keep going, right?
I think that's very simple, straightforward. How do you thrive instead of survive? Take the step.
Yeah.
Just take a step in whatever it is, and you're moving towards thriving. Take a step. Go.
Right. And just think about
Go.
that. If we know maybe we should be doing, but we just sit there and make excuses, we're just sitting there, that's the definition of surviving.
It is the definition of surviving.
You're just barely, and you're negative, you're resentful, you're not doing step 10, obviously, because you're sitting in it. That's surviving, but no thank
And then,
you.
don't you think it goes backwards then? It goes from surviving to dying?
Right.
Yeah. If you're not careful.
Yeah.
And listen, everybody, I hope you're getting from us that we are not perfect at this.
No. There's parts of my life that I'm surviving in right now.
Yeah.
I am not thriving.
We don't sit in this place where we're okay with it. And that's the difference. That's why step 7 really works. Our true inner nature isn't to be this way. And we all know it. We know that. And then walking it out is a different thing. But if you were to ask me about any of the things that I'm struggling with, I'd say, well, it's just me. I'm working out bad habits. I'm working out something, but I know I don't deserve that. Or I know I'm forgiven for that. I know I should be doing. I mean, I do know. In most cases, if I don't, we hopefully God will reveal it. But it's the difference, right?
I think that's a main thing you just said right there. Like, if people were to ask me, I know the
right.
things.
Yeah, you do know.
Normal
She does.
people, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong as they're doing all of. But I have aware. I know.
I'll say to Alicia, that's pretty judgmental, and she goes, "Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. I wish, but if she doesn't talk about it with us, she won't get better."
Right.
Transparent. She's saying, "I'm not perfect. I want to get better. Help me." And she's made,
Baby steps.
Minuscule progress, but progress is progress since I've known her. Look at the eyes rolling. If you guys got to get the YouTube for this because she
I
sometimes
have
likes her
grown in
judgment.
that area.
Look, Define. Yeah, she's sitting there. Broke the bear, Monty.
Yeah.
Look at that. No, she has.
Yes. But I mean, there's more. That's just the thing that we really
You know,
talk
you know,
about.
I know
mean,
if there was a little speech bubble above her head, it would say, "I can't wait to go to the Tom and Monty dartboard and throw darts at them."
Hey, listen, my impatience, I don't have a handle on it. I mean, I have a handle on it. I understand that I have it, but I still act out in it in not acceptable ways sometimes, but I'm working on it. I haven't had episodes like I have had in the past, and I try to fix it as quick as I can. So I'm with you, Alicia. You know we have things, and I'm with you on the judgment thing. You and I will go feed right into each other sometimes. I call you to do it because you know you're the one who will agree with me.
I'll step right in there with you.
Sometimes I know just who to call about something. I need to talk to you. She knows it'll be good because she's with me. And then we say, we're terrible. We shouldn't be that way. And we shouldn't be, you know.
Tom will text me from the gym, and I usually text him when I'm at the grocery store.
Yep.
So, you know.
You won't imagine what these buying.
Send pictures.
So you know what? What's her name? Val turned me on to this little app called Bobby. What's it called? It's called Bobby Approved. If I go by this app, I'll never eat again. I mean, so it has all the different stores like Costco and stuff like that, but you can scan anything, right? And people, you can't see it on my phone, but you scan it, and then it gives all the nutrition value, and it says, is it Bobby approved, thumbs up or thumbs down? And it'll tell you.
Eat whole foods, done.
It'll tell you why. It'll tell you what ingredients and why they're bad, and then you make a choice, right? And I'm in the cupboard. We have a cupboard that has things in it that. Well, I don't even want to say what's in it, okay? But I'm scanning them. I'm scanning it, and I'm going, nope. Throw that away.
You shouldn't need the app. People know what's good and
no,
what's bad.
but you don't know. The severity of it is amazing. I was like, whoa! I had no idea that was in there. You know,
get it out of your house.
Gee,
well, I have a friend that has that and like scanned all of like the shaving cream I use or the
shampoo, cologne, all handles.
Horrible. And they're like, toothpaste, no good. I'm like, what? But it says right on it, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread for your teeth.
No.
And it's like
sliced bread. That's toxic right there.
Well, I'll tell you what I love about it is
there she goes.
If everybody had that app, it would hurt the food industry.
Oh my goodness sakes!
In the food industry, because people might really start saying, "Well, wait a minute, I thought this stuff was supposed to be good for us."
Well, what's neat about it is it doesn't just leave you there, though. It gives you alternatives to that item.
Yeah, you're right. It does do this one instead.
Yeah.
You're right, Monty.
Yeah.
It does that.
And that's good. That's good. I mean, we our world is already filled with things you shouldn't do. Okay, tell me what to do instead then.
Yeah.
You know, and if you call Alicia up, she'll tell you what to do instead.
Right. And I have Alicia. And they won't do it anyway. I won't do it.
Well, I don't know. And part of the reason I'm keeping the weight off, Alicia, is because of your, stuff I listen to that you say.
Well, you said you have another 30 to go or something,
20.
right? Are you monitoring and measuring that?
20.
How are you getting there?
Okay, we're done with the show for this week.
I can help you with that.
You opened that door, Monty. You walked right into that.
Then you're surviving in that area. Yeah.
Wow.
And I want you to thrive.
Talk to the hand
about airport. airport wheelchairs and putting your socks on.
No, but listen, but those are things that are there. No matter how much weight I lose, those are there anyway. It's just part
Maybe
of it.
not.
No, I am.
If you stop putting the toxins in your body,
no. Listen, lady.
Sideways here on Came to Believe Recovery.
Email me personally, blessed Alicia.
You know, Alicia's Phoenix bird is going to end up being a duck. A dead duck.
Uncomfortable. Let's have this next week when we talk about uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm ready now.
Brother.
I'm the one.
I'm getting my clipboard out here. Hold on a second.
All right, guys.
Okay, so I have a clipboard for every show. The orange one is Came to Believe for obvious reasons. Next week, all joking aside, the topic will be Get Uncomfortable. Where are you hesitant to get uncomfortable? How to push through? And why is it beneficial? Why is it beneficial to be uncomfortable? We talked about not settling today. We've talked about thriving rather than surviving. But is there something to be said about the uncomfortableness of a situation that can actually help us? We'll talk about that next week. On Monday's show, the Take 12 Recovery Radio Show, Roger McDermott, Dion Miller, and our intern Kat will be talking about Step 4. We're going to take a snapshot of Step 4. This isn't an in-depth study on the steps that we're doing every Monday. This is just a snapshot on how we personally have applied and implemented each one of these steps. We're going through all of them on Monday's show. And then, of course, we're back for Wednesday's Came to Believe show. And Friday's Monty'man's Meditorial, just 4 minutes of me going off about something that will help even Alicia.
Ooh, okay. I'm ready.
All right. Good deal. All right. Our closing song, you guys, is by Phil Keaggy, one of my all-time favorite musicians. And it's simply entitled, I Belong to You. And I'll come back with my closing thoughts. Here is Mr. Keaggy.
Coming into view, my heart revived when you arrived to make it all come true. With each drop of rain, and like the morning dew, like the wind I whisper your sweet name. Oh, I belong to you. I cannot be sad when I think of times we've had. My memory brings near to me your voice, and I am glad. All the world's
Yes, we do indeed belong to our Heavenly Father, and He wants nothing more for us than to thrive in our lives. As I pondered this week's topic, it occurred to me that thriving, rather than merely surviving, really matters, because survival focuses on endurance, while thriving emphasizes growth, purpose, and true fulfillment. All three we experience when living in the go. Steps 10, 11, and 12. When people are in survival mode, their energy is consumed by meeting basic needs and avoiding failure, leaving little room for creativity, learning, or joy. Thriving shifts the mindset from getting through the day to actively shaping a meaningful life. It encourages individuals to set goals, build resilience, and engage deeply with their relationships, which, by the way, leads to a stronger sense of self-worth and long-term well-being. Now, moreover, thriving has a ripple effect beyond the individual. People who thrive are more likely to contribute positively to their communities, inspire others, and drive progress. They bring empathy, innovation, and optimism into shared spaces, creating environments where collaboration and growth are then possible. While survival may keep life going, thriving allows life to be lived fully, transforming challenges into opportunities, and existence into something rich with purpose and impact. It's something to think about. Came to Believe Recovery strives to create and promote opportunities for life-changing spiritual experiences for individuals and families suffering from all forms of addiction. For more information, help, and support, visit cametobelieverecovery.org. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be your host on this episode of the Came to Believe Recovery podcast. And I would encourage you to like, bookmark, and subscribe to this show. When you do, you will join the Take 12 Recovery Radio family and will be notified of all of our recovery-focused shows throughout the week. Until our next broadcast, when we provide the essential spiritual tools needed to thrive by sharing our experience, our strength, and our hope through our stories of how we came to believe.
This has been a production of Take 12 Recovery Radio.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Meow.
Woof, woof.
This has been a Chicken and a Pig production.